So as I already told you, when it comes to incidences revolving around the Black Lives Matter movement or whatnot, I judge everything, each thing that happens, I judge each incident on... What's wrong? Mama, your water's out here. There's no water in the bathroom. Come over here. It's over here. Come on. The water's over here. There's nothing in that bathroom. Nothing. Your bed's in the bathroom. You don't give a fuck about the bed usually anyway. There's nothing in the bathroom, honey. Water's over there. You're smart enough to know that there's different situations. There's nothing. Look, you want to go in there? There's nothing in there. Go ahead. You want to go in there? There's nothing in there. Just the towels and sheets are on the floor. Your water's not in there. Your water I brought immediately up to there because of the fiasco last time where you keep crying outside the bathroom door even though I'd already given you new water out here. You know what I mean? There's your bed. There's nothing in the bathroom. You don't need to go in there. Okay? The water's over there. Anyway. Case-to-case basis, incidences of Black Lives Matter that people think fall under the Black Lives Matter movement, okay? To my recollection, I'm trying to jog my memory here. In all my years on this planet, I don't think I've ever caused... I know I've had to have gotten angry at a cashier, and I've had to have gotten angry at some point, but not enough to cause a scene, okay? But if you cause a scene in a public, a restaurant, a store, anything like that, the management is within their rights to call the cops on you, okay? All right? Now this guy, this Waffle House, this black guy, if you want me to call him African American, whatever, he admits that he was dropping his sister off after prom, or whatever. I don't know how old he is, but he admits that he got too aggressive at this Waffle House, okay? But he's unarmed, and he was just loud. Like I said, I'm trying to think if I've ever... There had to have been a time in my life where I've gotten angry at the store, at something. I can't remember. Just I can't remember doesn't mean it didn't happen. Whatever. He admits that he got out of hand, okay? But again, just verbally. So they call the cops, which is within their rights to do. He's unarmed. And we don't know what took place prior, but whatever took place, they have a right to arrest him. Police don't have to do they really have to choke you? And I'm listening to the guy, and he's very articulate. He says, you know, I'm not looking to die. And whenever this happens, they're flashing back to that poor guy who, it was petty crime, and he pays with his life, okay? He was saying he couldn't breathe. I can't remember his name, you know. And he wound up dead from it, all right? The police don't have to choke you, do they? You know what I mean? I watched, does he really have to choke him? And I'm listening to the guy afterwards, and he's owning up. He's like, I admit, you know, I got a little things are a little out of hand. I was wrong in that respect, but I'm not looking to die. And he's being accused of resisting arrest. He's like, I didn't get aggressive until the cop had his hands around my throat. So, cops are allowed to do that? They're allowed to choke you? I mean, I don't know. I just don't think that they should be doing that, particularly in light of what happened to that guy was it in New York or wherever it was, where he wound up dead, and he was saying, I can't breathe, okay? Well, I heard about this incident with the black guy, I think, at the Walmart or something. It was something else that he was saying the same thing. He was saying, I can't breathe, and he was genuinely scared. Is that just something that police are allowed to do? They're allowed to choke you? I mean, that's scary. And like I said, I'm listening to this guy, and he's owning up. He's owning up to it. I shouldn't have behaved the way I did in the Waffle House, but I still think the cop was out of hand choking me like that, and I was scared. He's like, I'm not looking to die. You know what I mean? And again, unarmed. He's unarmed. And I just don't see why cops have to choke you. I don't think that that's right, okay? So when it comes to that, again, we're not dealing with some hardened criminal here. We're dealing with somebody who got out of hand in a Waffle House, who was angry. And he said, I watched him on World News Tonight, I think, and he said, I didn't like how they were treating me and my sister or something or other. We don't know that situation. I just know, even if he's wrong in that regard, I don't see why the cops have to choke you, okay? So I'm on their side in that. I'm not on their side in everything, all right? I judge each thing on a case-to-case basis. But I just don't see why cops have to choke you, choke anybody. And this is the second time in a short period of time where I'm hearing the guy after the fact, you know, he's safe, he's okay, saying, you know, I was scared. I don't want to be choked. I feel like I can't breathe. I feel like I might die. You know, and I believe him. He's saying that. I'm sure it's not pleasant, and I don't see why cops can't come up with why they have to put their hands around your neck. And I watched the guy, and know what he even said, which was so awesome? He said, keep your hands off me. Why don't you go get your supervisor? Because he didn't like how the cop was treating him. All right? Again, he's unarmed. He's not some hardened criminal, and you don't need to choke him. So, anyway, I just wanted to point that out. I went to my mom's today. I did not find her notebook. I was trying to help her do laundry. In the end, I ran out of time because I'm limited by these buses. You know, I'm limited. I ran out of time. I did cook something absolutely delicious for her, and she told me she loved it. I had purchased squash for her, and she hadn't cooked it yet. And I'm like, Mom, you know, you know your squash is going to go bad. So, luckily it wasn't bad yet. So I cooked up hamburger, squash, mushrooms, and a spinach, kale, spring mix type mix, okay? It's Olivia's organic. And added a little bit of cheese on the top and some spices, and my mom loved it. She told me I didn't get to taste it. I didn't have time. I tried to help her do laundry. In the end, I didn't get to test that dryer thing, but I did get to talk to the landlord. And my mom didn't remember the thing where she called me and cried when she first moved in there, and then I told you guys about it, and told Joe, and told my friend down the street about the dryer but my mom didn't remember, but I do. You understand? Just so my mom can't remember something, I remember, and I told you guys that dryer, he had, when she went around and around and never stopped, he had to come and unplug it to get it to stop. Alright, so he's trying to say that that's not the truth, and whatever. He's been doing her laundry ever since. But I wanted to try to help her do her laundry today, and I didn't get it done in time. I got it washed, and then it seemed like a very long time. It was running around and running around and wouldn't stop. Okay? And any dryers I've ever encountered in my life, by the way, when you open up the door, the dryer stops. This one doesn't. So I had already done one load, and I took it out and just threw the other load in there. That might be dangerous, but my mom was going to unplug it while it was running, like she definitely saw him do, even if he doesn't remember, even if he's denying it. This was many months ago, and I left him a message, and he says, there's nothing wrong with my dryer. Alright, all I know is even if my mom doesn't remember, I remember what she told me when she first moved in, because she called me in tears. What do you want, okay? And he's like, I'll do her laundry. I said, yeah, but, you know, we're female. And, you know, you don't want to separate her underwear, and you don't want to, you know what I mean? We have things we might not want dry, because I had it on low, and he's like, on low, it's never going to dry. But I thought it would just stop after a certain point. Usually coin operated, it doesn't run forever until it's dry. It stops and you have to put more money in. So I don't know what the deal is. I appreciate him helping her, but she was worried that she needs to have her laundry done. I also wanted to see for myself, and I ran out of time, unfortunately. And I had my say with him, but my mom doesn't even remember what happened before. And I said, you know what I mean? I said to my mom, it's like, if you don't remember, you tell me, you cry about something, and then you don't remember, but I pointed out to your landlord, it makes me look like a fool because you're not backing me up. You know what I mean? And this is serious shit. It's serious, serious shit. And then it's feast or famine with the goddamn heat. Okay, I told you. I walk into her apartment and it's a little over, I'm like, why is it so cold in here, Mom? Usually it's an oven. She's like, I don't know. I told him about it. He didn't do anything. I said, I had a problem with that landlord that time with Bobby's or whatever. And that heat went down to, he didn't want you to turn the heat on just because it's May, and it went down to 58 degrees in the house, and, and it's not legal. Joe found out in Massachusetts because you can get cold weather, even, it goes all the way to like mid-June or something. Massachusetts heat, landlords are not allowed to turn off the heat. It's not legal. And so I was upset. I left him a message. And he said, well, it's on some kind of timer. He fixed it. And then I talked to my mom a little while later when I get home, and she's telling me now it's hot in there. I'm like, I don't know, Mom. You know that there it's feast or famine. It's either too hot or too cold. And, I tried. I don't know what to tell you. But remember, the solution, he said the solution in the winter, with the heat, it being 80 degrees with the heat completely off, I already told you about this, is just open the windows, and that worked, okay? But now I checked all the windows in her house, and I'm like, why is it just over 60 degrees in here? What's wrong? And when your thing's on 70, it's because it was turned off or something. So he came and fixed it or did whatever, and then now she's telling me it's too hot. Can't win. Didn't get to test out the dryer thing. That doesn't mean I won't. At some point, I'm going to test out and see, because it's easy for him to say it's not true. Meanwhile, he's been doing her laundry, and maybe he's just lying and doesn't want me to know that it is an instance. And I said, you know what, I'm not going to have my mom be unplugging that to get her clothes out. I remember what she said. You want to risk your life doing it. I'm not going to unplug it either. So, sometime when I have enough time, I am going to test it out, because I want to see if I catch him in a lie and I can, film it. Just secretly, not to put it on YouTube or anything, not to, but just for my own thing, because I feel like, what the fuck's going on? But I know, even if my mom doesn't remember from many months ago, what she told me, and what I told you, and what I told Joe, and what I told the woman down the street, okay? So, if my mom forgets, she forgets, but I don't forget, and I know, and that's what I expected to happen today. So he's either trying to cover up, and there's nothing wrong with my dryer. All I know, Sebastian, is what my mom told me when she moved in many months ago, okay? It wasn't that many months ago, but, you want to do her laundry, that's great. But I'm her daughter, and I was there today, and I wanted to help her do laundry. She's been wearing the same damn clothes, okay? And she hasn't asked you for whatever reason to do laundry, and she didn't talk to me about it, and I just noticed, like, why are you wearing the same thing? You have tons of clothes. And she's like, well, my jeans and stuff are dirty, and she did have a shitload of clothes to do, right? But in my experience, even in laundromats, coin-operated dryers, if you put it on low, the dryer doesn't go until your clothes are dry. The dryer only goes a certain amount of time. And I did wait a long time, and that thing was still spinning around. And I didn't tell him this so to such a great extent. I left it kind of vague. But I wound up grabbing her whole first load that had been there for quite some time that was still slightly, it was still damp, and threw the new load in because we had 2 loads. It's just small washer and dryer. I'm used to this huge thing that my mom bought years ago, so. You know what I mean? But in my experience, in my entire life, when you open the dryer door, dryers stop. So I've never heard of a dryer that does not stop when you open that door. Have you guys? Basically, was I in danger grabbing the clothes out of the moving dryer? Possibly. But I feel like I was in less danger than daring to unplug the thing. I wasn't going to do that while it's running. No fucking way. He can do it. My mom claims months ago when it happened. See, I'm not going to trust my mom's memory now. Are you kidding me? I'm going to tell her, do you not remember that? She's like, no. I'm like, well, I do, and I know what you told me. And you said you were crying and saying you tried to do your laundry when you first moved in, and your clothes wouldn't stop spinning round and round and round.